This is a very good proof that you
Αυτό
can
αποτελεί
replicate models
απόδειξη
that are coming from small communities. And things like that are like labs that could be reproduced somewhere else. So it's a very, very good example of that it's possible to do things like that. And that, okay, you need to have a lot of empowerment to do that because it's a lot of work. I know what's behind that. But I mean, it's something that is doable for everyone in every location. Αρκεί θέληση, όπως λένε στην Ελλάδα. Και τώρα θα πάμε στην Pam, που Pam είναι chef, είναι private chef. She's doing an amazing job. And I'm very proud I can say that because she's like, she's not from here, and she managed to do many things here in Greece, and she feels Greece is her home, and that's beautiful, because I'm half foreigner as well, and I know how it feels, so I'm very happy that Pamela has managed to do many, many things here. That's beautiful. And we have to also to say that she is in charge tomorrow for the lunch of the mayors that are coming. She's going to do something very beautiful because it's all based in local products and like seasonal products, and it has like all a philosophy behind. It's not only just food, it's not only eco food, it has a whole history there. So please, Pam, come and tell us about your project.
Hello. So welcome everybody, thank you for coming. My name is Pam and I'm here to introduce Pam's Pan. Okay. So, my name is Pam. I'm a private chef, and I came to Greece 6 years ago. I'm from the Netherlands originally, and just a little story about how I came to cooking. So I come from a culture where there's not really a lot of cooking. The Dutch people, they don't really have this in their system to go around the table, to cook together or to eat together. And and also my mother is not really a great cook. So I grew up not with this mentality. And when I came to Greece, I discovered that I came basically to the project in Megalopoli, and I learned about local products, about growing our own vegetables, about seasonality. Like, for example, in the Netherlands, I had no idea that a beetroot grows under the soil, and we buy things in a supermarket that's pre-cut or pre-boiled, and we have no idea where it's coming from. So, I just want to do a quick question. Does anyone know what's in season right now? Any ideas? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, so I feel like generally in Greece, people have a lot more knowledge about gardening, and they go to the market, and this is a mentality that I really like. So, what else I can tell about me? So, when I came to Greece, I actually found a cooking school in Kalamata, which back then I didn't speak any Greek at all, and I decided to go to the cooking school, and I had 3 months to learn Greek, in order to follow the study, which I didn't succeed very well with the Greek, but as soon as I was in the school, I learned pretty quick and I managed to get my diploma after 3 years. Afterwards, I went to do my internship in Villa Incognito. It's a very good restaurant in Tripoli, and I'm really happy and glad to have this opportunity to work with them. And recently I started the PAMSPAN concept. And the PAMSPAN concept is a part inside the crossroads in Megalopoli. It's basically what I'm trying to do is bring people together around the table that they don't know each other. So they have the opportunity to meet, to become friends. And usually with this kind of dinners, I have conversational topics. So I have topics like love or expectations or anything that can, so people have the opportunity to have a deeper connection rather than just meeting and talking about daily life. So about the food, what I cook, for me, of course, the most important is that it's tasty. I don't mind so much about the high-end little things on the plate. The most important thing is that it's tasty. Then I really focus on seasonal and local products because these things, they reduce carbon footprint. Of course, they are also more healthy because many of the products that we buy in season and from around the area, they didn't have to be produced inside the greenhouse or didn't have to come from another place very far, which also loses nutrition value. And of course, it has economical benefits. One of them is for the local community to support them and to make sure that instead of buying from a big supermarket, to buy from a small farmer. And also for our own pockets, because things are much more cheap when you buy them in season. So it's a win-win. My goal is to become farm to table. This means that everything that you serve comes from your own garden, and it's a process. And I'm more and more into learning also with the volunteers, with the permaculture principles as well, and yeah. Another thing that I always am aware of when I cook is about waste, because we all know that waste is very bad. So what we try to do is we have more and more knowledge now about compost, which makes a circular system like the permaculture system, where whatever you have from the kitchen as a waste, you put in the compost, and that compost you use to grow your vegetables in your garden. So, with PAMSPAN, I do two things. Sometimes I organize events for bigger groups to, for example, connect people for networking purposes. But what I said before is about the small dinners where people don't know each other. So I will tell you a little bit more about that. So the first and most important thing is to create a safe space. This means that when people come to the table and the subject that we're going to talk about is usually can be something vulnerable and private, so it's very important as a main thing to have a safe space and to trust each other and not to judge each other. What we always do is we have a cultural conversational topic. And for example, what has happened many times is that I invite volunteers from all over the world to the table, as well as locals. So they have the opportunity to meet and to have a cultural exchange. And usually people connect afterwards and become friends, because this is the purpose of the dinners, to make connections and strong relationships. So I wanted to tell you that I brought some cherry jam from our garden, because we have in our garden many fruit and nut trees, and you can just have a try. It's it's just for fun. So, do you guys have any questions?
Just about the jam, it sounded very interesting. I went to another hotel this morning to visit some friends, and I noticed that the jam is not Greek, or I wasn't sure, and it's in small packages. And in Greece, there is a big tradition of cooking jams in the winter, so we can have them all summer.
Of course.
And how easy is it to make jam, and how can we tell hotels, what would your advice be as a chef on simple things for breakfast to avoid the single-use plastic and fake gelatin jam? And if you can just give me your 2 cents on that, on how we can help restaurants or hotels create local jams.
I think, in my opinion, it's just about the mentality thing, because I think making jam is not very difficult, and also a way of getting jars and storing them for a long time is not rocket science. But I think there just has to be a change for hotels and restaurants to just try it and see that it makes much more sense, but also they have to be educated, because it's much more easy to go and buy it than to make it. At least it's more time saving. So I think it has to come from within themselves or someone to explain. Thank you. Any other questions? Mm-hmm.
I have a question about communities, especially now that a lot of digital nomads, a lot of remote workers are seeking remote destinations to go live in, smaller villages, beach towns. How have you guys, both of you, in Megalopoli, created a bridge between the local community and then your community in the villa, volunteer students? I find where I'm from in Leonidia, there's a big disconnect with the locals and foreigners in town.
Yes.
So how have you created that connection?
So I think it's pretty simple. It goes by just inviting them over. I think there are also a lot of judgment about what we do, and it's been quite a long time for people to understand even what we're doing. And what I do with PAMSPAN is that I have an Instagram where I post sometimes about the table. So when I host a table, I invite locals. So I say, okay, whoever wants to come, just send me a message. And people are, even though it's Megalopoli and it's like a kind of small town, people really like the idea. And that's why I'm also really happy about the PAMSPAN, because it's the food, the cooking, and the organizing the tables is the bridge of meeting locals and volunteers, let's say. So I think, tables or other events that they can just come and see what's going on, it's helpful. Okay. Thank you very much.